There is a man, somewhere, who has stopped sleeping. Not because he won't, because he can't. One night, a few months ago, his body simply forgot how. At first it looked like ordinary insomnia. Then the naps stopped working. Then the pills stopped working. Now he lies in the dark every single night, fully awake, staring at the ceiling, while his brain slowly burns itself out. There is no cure, there is no treatment, and every doctor who has ever seen this knows exactly how it ends. We treat sleep like wasted time, a third of your life, switched off, unconscious, doing nothing. The one appointment you'd cancel if you could. But sleep is not the absence of activity. It is one of the most important things your body will ever do, and the proof is what happens when it can't. To understand that, we have to start with a teenager who tried to beat it on purpose. In 1964, a 17-year-old in San Diego named Randy Gardner decided to break the world record for staying awake. No coffee, no pills, just willpower, 2 friends to keep him moving, and eventually a sleep scientist named William Dement, who showed up to make sure the experiment didn't quietly kill him. Gardner lasted 264 hours, 11 days, and the descent was almost mathematical. After the first day, his eyes stopped focusing. By day 2, he couldn't identify objects by touch. By day 4, he was irritable, uncoordinated, and convinced he was a famous football player. And he watched a street sign slowly turn into a person in front of him. By the end, his speech had slurred into fragments, his face had gone flat and expressionless, and his short-term memory was failing in real time. He would forget what he was doing in the middle of doing it. His brain, starved of sleep, had started leaking dreams into his open eyes. And then he slept. About 14 hours, and he woke up mostly fine. Which seems to say the whole thing is survivable, frightening, but survivable. That is the comforting version of this story. It is also incomplete, because what scientists slowly realized is that you cannot actually stay awake that long. Not really. Long before day 11, the brain begins forcing microsleeps, tiny lapses, a few seconds each, where entire regions switch off while your eyes are still open and you don't even notice. You stop being able to choose. Your brain takes the sleep it needs, with or without your permission. Which raises a far darker question. What happens to someone whose brain has lost the ability to take it at all? In 1986, an Italian physician named Elio Lugaresi described a patient sliding into a condition no one could explain. The man could not sleep, not poorly, at all. He fell into a kind of permanent twilight, never fully awake, never asleep, his body running hot, his pulse racing, his pupils shrunk to pinpoints, until he died. When they examined his brain, the damage was concentrated in one small structure, the thalamus, the relay that helps switch sleep on. It had been hollowed out from the inside. The disease is called fatal familial insomnia. It is genetic, caused by a single misfolded protein, a prion, that turns the brain's own machinery against it, the same family of agent behind mad cow disease. And it is merciless in its consistency. It usually begins in middle age. First, months of worsening insomnia. Then, panic attacks, hallucinations, rapid weight loss. Then, the body forgets how to rest at all. And then, within a year or 2, death. There is still no cure and no way to slow it. And because it runs in families, the people who carry it often grow up watching a parent die of it, knowing the whole time that the same clock is already ticking inside their own head. For a long time, no one could prove that the sleeplessness itself was the killer, rather than some other part of the disease. So in the 1980s, researchers ran the experiment you are not supposed to run. They kept rats completely, continuously awake. Every one of them died, in about 2 weeks. Sooner, in fact, than rats given no food at all. Their bodies lost the ability to regulate their own temperature, their organs failed, and they came apart from the inside, for no reason anyone could see on the outside. So what is sleep actually doing that is worth dying over? While you lie there unconscious, your brain runs maintenance it simply cannot run while you're awake. It replays the day, and files it into long-term memory. It resets the chemistry that keeps your mood and judgment intact. And it opens a kind of plumbing system, discovered only in the last decade, that floods the brain with fluid and flushes out the waste that accumulates between your neurons all day, including the very proteins associated with Alzheimer's. Miss one night, and the garbage starts to back up. Miss enough of them, and it is never taken out at all. This is the part we have exactly backwards. Sleep is not time stolen from your life. It is the cost of being alive and awake in the first place. Every hour you spend conscious leaves a residue behind, and sleep is the only window in which that bill ever gets paid. The teenager survived because his brain kept quietly stealing back the sleep he was trying to deny it. The patients with fatal insomnia do not survive because their brains have lost the power to steal it back. That single difference is the entire distance between being tired and being dead. So tonight, when you feel that pull, the heaviness settling behind your eyes, the room going soft and far away, understand what it really is. It is not laziness. It is not weakness. It is not lost time. It is your brain, calm and insistent, demanding the one thing that keeps you here. You will spend a third of your life asleep, not because evolution was careless or cruel, because that is the rent for the other 2/3. Pay it.